Good morning. This is just a very short practice, something that you can do any morning that you just feel like you need to do something but you don't really have time for a full yoga practice. Just a little bit of energy through the body, a little bit of a stretch. So come to stand, take the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Start with some arm circles. Nice big wide arms, get some movement around the shoulders. Find your own little rhythm of breath here. Come to the top and then swing them back the other way. And then forward and back. So keeping the arms sort of together, taking it up and back behind you, just getting a little bit of movement in the shoulders, a little bit of movement in the upper back. And then releasing, taking the feet a touch wider, have the toes pointing out a little bit, taking some twists, so bend the knees a little bit and just get some movement through the spine initially. And if you feel okay, you can lift alternate heels. As you turn, the opposite heel lifts, giving you a little bit more opportunity for the momentum. Just breathing some nice energy into the spine for the day. And then stopping, breathe the arms in. And then exhale, folding forward, and then take the feet a little wider. Stretch up. And then exhale, fold. And you can just sway the hips side to side here. You might even get a little click, click in the inner thighs, waking the whole body up. And then turning the toes out 45 degrees, walking the hands out. Just take a little lunge over to one side or the other and lift the hips, lunge to the other side. Just take a few times just like that, side to side. If you've got a little bit more room in the hips, you can lunge deeper and lift the opposite heel, point the big toe up. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale over to the other side. Just be careful of your knees first thing in the morning, so whatever feels appropriate for you. Inhaling to come up and exhaling to float to the other side. Coming up to center, stretch forward and then exhaling over to your left foot. You can have it at a bit of a 45-degree angle. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, folding over that shin, any amount, just saying good morning, hamstrings. Good morning, back of hips. And then lifting the chest, walking over to the other side. Take the foot at a bit of an angle, lift the chest, and then exhale. Hello, hamstrings. Inhale, come up, take the hands into the center, wriggle the feet a little closer to each other and drop the bottom in for a deep squat. So ideally the heels on the floor. If the heels don't reach the floor, a little rolled up blanket or towel under the heels would be fabulous to keep your heels onto something. And then take the elbows into the inner knees, hands into prayer, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, just take the eyes down and get a really nice beautiful stretch into the back of the hips, a little stretch in the inner thighs. Just gently push the elbows into the inner knees, a very gentle push backwards with the elbows. Lift the chest. And after your next full deep in-breath, exhale, release and plonk yourself onto the floor, taking the legs into Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together. You can either have the soles pressed together or you can open the soles up towards the roof. Really depends on the space you've got into the inner thighs here. Stretch the spine up. Either stay here seated, enjoy the stretch on the inner legs, or exhale and fold forward any amount. So if this is enough for you, you can really feel the stretch around the outer hips, Then stay here, lift up onto the fingertips, stretch the spine, and exhale, really ground the back of the hips down. So a few breaths here, creeping forward any amount that works for your body. And then coming up, gently drawing the inner knees towards each other and coming to sit on the heels. Take the hands onto the thighs and just say thank you to yourself for just taking a few minutes right at the beginning of the day. So hopefully that will give you a little bit of zing to move forward for the rest of the day. Thank you and namaste.